I'm ready. Let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and I hope you've had a good night's rest. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to fly from Johannesburg to George, and I hope you enjoy the flight with me.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. On behalf of all the crew, welcome on board this flight. We expect to be departing on schedule today, and weather en route is looking pretty smooth. Shortly, the cabin crew will be showing you a safety demonstration. This is for your safety and for those around you, so please give them your full attention. Once again, you're very welcome on board.
Grounded cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Flight mode, it needs to be switched off now and remain switched off for the whole duration of the flight. Thank you.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect. Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines. Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
One left and one right, and toward the rear of the cabin, one left and one right. There are 4 overwing exits in the center of the cabin, 2 left and 2 right.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Which may be behind you. Fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal end into the buckle, to secure from the loose end of the strap, and to open lift the buckle cover. In the event of a sudden loss of cabin pressure, individual oxygen mask will drop automatically from the panel above your head. If this happens, remain seated. Pull down firmly on the mask to stop the flow of oxygen. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Don't worry if the bag is not in place. Oxygen is flowing. To secure the mask, pull one end of the strap. Adults traveling with young children, please attend to your own mask first. Your life jacket is stowed in a pocket beneath your seat or in the panel above your head. Or in the event of landing in water, remove the jacket from its pocket and place it over your head.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Place the life jacket, pull down sharply on the red toggle. There is a light piece for further inflation or deflation and a light to attract attention. Do not insert the life jacket inside the cabin, as to do so will impede your exit. Further information may be found in the safety card, which is displayed within the area you are mode may be used throughout the flight. Please select flight mode now. Laptops must be stored in cabin baggage under the seat in front of you or in the overhead locker for taxis, takeoff and landing. We would like to remind you that smoking is not permitted. Thank you for your attention. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight.
Good morning, everybody. I've just decided let's talk a little bit. It's going to be easier than to start typing when things get busy now. So thanks for joining me, and I hope you enjoy the flight with me, and just send your questions and I'll answer to the best I can. As a matter of interest, you'll see there's some light poles in the taxiway here. I received the scenery for evaluation a couple of days ago just to see what it's like. But it seems there's still some work left to be done. I am from South Africa, yes. No, not a problem, Jan. Feel free, go for it. Ask the questions. It's going to be boring if we don't talk. Yeah, Cape Town is nice. My wife's from Cape Town. I'm from Joburg. We currently reside in Joburg. And no, habit is a bad thing. I just realized I went to the wrong runway, so I'm going to have to turn around on the next taxiway. Goodness. I've got all the NMG scenery for P3D and for Explain. Like I said, this was just something to evaluate. I'll go back to NMG after this. Right, so this is a high-speed taxi. I'm going to push it a little bit. At least now you get a scenic drive and you can see a little bit more of the scenery. This is very good scenery. If you go to my Twitch channel, you'll see I landed here about 1:20 or something this morning. It's amazing at night. The kind of effort that has gone into this to make it look good at night with Explain is amazing. This is Zibo 3.30K for kilo. My first flight simulator that I ever played, I will not even be able to give you the name. It was in 1986 on an old ZX Spectrum, and that was the only game I ever wanted to play. So you had blue at the top for the sky, green at the bottom for the ground, and sometimes it was brown, and you know, that was it. But that was the flight simulator of the day. Do you mean date for it? Sorry, I'm not with you. Are you talking about, sorry, you're probably referring to the Zibo update. This K came out last night, South African time, about 11 o'clock. Yeah, Zibo is busy with the Max. I've actually seen pretty nice footage and pictures of the Max. The 737-700 also needs to be completed. Yeah, there's a lot of work still to go in before they're even going to start talking about the 747, but I agree with you, it will be fantastic if they can.
Caution, on taxiway, on taxiway.
Hello Arthur, it's not really a plugin, it's an overlay and it works with the broadcasting software, so it's got nothing to do with the actual simulator, but it's called Bene Overlay. Jan, the door tab is here. You can already map the door switches via your keyboard. I'll show you just now before I take off, but the doors do not open yet. It's in the works, it's a work in progress, but it's not the priority I think at this point in time. And it will come when it's ready. On the 737-900 the doors work already. I mean, there is your page, but it's not operational.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Have a nice flight, eh? I enjoy flying in the UK too. I must actually go fly there again. Jan, as a matter of interest, what they did work on, everybody in any case, for your information, if I can get this thing down, they've worked quite a bit on the heads-up display. Somewhere in alpha stage now, but this is one of the big things they worked on. And then obviously they're working on the VNAV and LNAV and things like that. So without further ado, let's get going. Let's take off. Yeah, but that's Jan, that's why there's a 900. If you go download the 900 version, I mean, that thing was designed from the outside inwards, where the actual 738 was designed systems outwards. 1, right. So you'll get all the nice eye candy with the 900, and at some point in time they're going to unify all the systems, and they're going to unify all the workings of the exteriors and everything. I mean, I've seen it a long time coming.
On runway 2, 1,
the
right.
K version is a full version. You might as well just delete everything and start over. Any full version is always good to start over. Don't even try patch it. So just get K and get rid of J. So let's hit Toga here by the mic button and let's go. And there's a bit of a wind, so we'll have to compensate.
80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Monday. English is one of 11 official languages here, just to make it interesting. Even I don't speak all the languages. I speak English and Afrikaans and understand a couple of others, but I don't really speak them. Remember, South Africa, just like Australia, used to be British colony. We're part of the Commonwealth, or used to be. Not sure what the legal stand is of that yet at this time, but we used to be in the same boat. Yeah, history. Interesting thing. Not many people really care about history. They just make up their own ones as they go on, unfortunately. But it's true. Lots of Dutch, lots of Flemish, some German, some French, very much like Dutch, more like Flemish actually. You go to Belgium and you listen to the guys there, it's about the same, but we've changed it, obviously made it our own. How's that also, hey? Jan? Yeah, Johan, sorry. And Jan, sorry, that is for you as well. ArcGIS is the best provider for South Africa, as long as they don't blacklist your IP, and then you have to get the workaround. And Zoom level 17. Yeah, we all spent a lot of money, but unfortunately the technology grows old and we need to change. On Zoom level 17, you're talking about 3.5 gig per tile. If you're doing a lesser Zoom level, it's going to be less, and 18 it's more. No, it was cool. Johanna, at the beginning of the roll, I felt a bit of a tug from the right hand side, so I had to just compensate a little bit with rudder and aileron there, but it was a nice standard takeoff. That's one of the things I like about X-Plane so much. I'm not sure if it's just in this aircraft so pronounced or where it comes from, but for me it's like the whole of X-Plane. And the wind has a big influence, like in the real world. It's not plastic, you feel it, you know you're in it. Yeah, but Zoom level 15, Jan, that's only going to look nice when you go above 10,000 feet AGL. You know, there's no sharpness in that. The resolution is just not the same. This is 17. For takeoff, the normal flap setting, depending on the runway and the altitude and a whole bunch of other things, the performance data really, the takeoff flaps is usually 5. It needs to be at 5, otherwise you will get a takeoff configuration warning. Then the other thing is, unlike an Airbus, in a Boeing you never activate your speed brake. In Airbus you've got to activate the speed brake as part of your pre-flight. In Boeing, the moment you activate that little lever, it's going to give you a configuration error and a lot of horns going off when you try and take off. So if it's not flaps, just check that you don't set the lever incorrectly. That speed brake needs to be off. Everything is controlled via your ejected takeoff on your auto brakes. That will deploy your speed brakes and do all the other emergency things for you, as long as that is on RTO. That also needs to be on RTO for takeoff. Yeah, no, I keep 17 all over. The only place where I felt it was wasting space was in the Karoo. I don't want a desert at Zoom level 17, so I made it 60. But that's the only place I compromised on 17. 100% will be, yeah. Sorry, let me mute my mic there. I'm busy making a milkshake, sorry about that. Kom kuier. And that is the route, and as you can see we are well underway, almost at the top of the line. That's fine, Jan, and cool, Johan. I think you're gonna enjoy it. This is a nice version of the Zibo. I really enjoyed flying it last night. I cannot understand why the guys are struggling so much with this.
10,000 to go.
Jan, yes, I use SimBrief and then I build it further on Navigraph. The Navigraph is an integral part of how I fly. Got it on various devices as well, so it all helps. And I export directly from SimBrief into X-Plane and then pick up the flight plan in the FMC. Yeah, Johan, early bird catches the worm. You've got to wake up earlier. Jan, it's actually straightforward. In SimBrief, you can do it two ways. You can use the actual downloader that you can get and download from their site and then pre-configure that one. Then you press one button and it puts it in place. Or you could scroll down once you've created the OFP, go down to X-Plane, click the download link and simply pop the plan into X-Plane folder, into output, and the folder is called FMS plans, and once it's there you can read it.
Again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruise altitude and the seatbelt sign is now off. Feel free to move around the cabin, but we do ask if you are in your seat that you do keep your seatbelt loosely fastened in case we do experience any unexpected turbulence. Otherwise, invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy the flight.
Don't know if you guys know this, but the voice in that recording that's now built into the Zibo is a real-world 737 pilot / instructor, and he's got his own YouTube channel called Flight Deck to Sim, and he's been helping with the flight tests and also making some nice videos. There are 2 other real-world, in fact 3 other real-world 737 pilots involved in the project as well. But there's this very specific test pilot that I speak with almost on a daily basis, and it's kind of nice speaking to the guys and hearing the stories behind the stories sometimes and so on. Very nice. I hope you made a backup of that perf file somewhere outside of the Zibo folder now. Jan. Johanna was referring to Jan who lost his file. But you too, for that matter, I know you use the perf file. I hope you've got the external backup somewhere. It's painful when you have to redo things. Yeah, that's a good plan. Yeah, it's important that you have a backup somewhere. Yeah, we all have cloud solutions. We all make use of that. Don't know how we ever lived without it, eh? Hey Leah, welcome back. Cruise altitude, flight level 340. .467 nautical miles to go, ETA 1043 Zulu. Yes, it's high, but I was actually expecting 380 to be quite honest, because of the length of the flight. Unfortunately, the weather is not playing with us. This is the best flight level at this point in time, so we're just sticking around here. Are you using Windows 8 or 8.1? That is strange. Okay, because Windows 8 had that problem built in. It was a big mess. Are you using a powered USB hub or directly onto the motherboard, or how do you connect those USBs? Because it sounds like it loses power. this is our arrival, guys, as a matter of interest, unless the wind changes. And we are planning to land on a runway 11. Agreed, Windows 10 sorted all my problems as well. It was godsend at that point in time. I was going crazy with Windows 8. I can give you my opinion, but I might get in trouble if I start comparing Cytec and CH, so I'll rather not. We can talk offline about that one. Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it. You on? Yeah. Hi Federico, welcome and thank you. I enjoy doing this. I've been putting it off for many years, and then I just decided one day, no, it's time to start. So thank you. Well, Leah, all you can do is clean what you can clean, wipe what you can wipe, then if worst comes to worst, format and reload the machine. Maybe you've got a broken driver, it can be a whole wealth of different things. But as a matter of interest, in the Zibo, there is a setting for noise on the controller. So if you go to I must just remember where it was. I'll find it quickly there. Throttle noise lock. I'm actually using setting number 2. If I don't put it on 2, my throttles literally shake. As you can see there, they're quite stable now. Very stable. And all that shaking will disconnect the autopilot. It will do all kinds of funny stuff. So if you're flying the Zibo, just go set your throttle noise lock to an acceptable level. Maybe you can play with that setting and sort out the noise on the line there. Great stuff. Let me know if it works. That is what it should say, Johan. I don't see a problem with that. I think you're going to enjoy that. Same as mine. Federico, I was wondering myself, but I was too lazy to go and check. To my knowledge, I'm using NMG, George Scenery, and the last time I got an update on that was probably somewhere earlier this year. He released a newer version, so we shall see when we get there what is waiting for us. If it's default, I apologize. I really didn't check, but as far as I know, I should have the NMG one. Okay, I'll be back in a second. My phone's ringing. I am back. Federico, as a matter of interest, NMG is getting some competition from another person right now, which I'm beta testing software for, and the company is called Gaffer Simulation. GAFFER Simulation, and he's already released some stuff for P3D, and I've seen a lot of his work now on Explain as well. We must keep an eye out for that in the future as well. Where, Johan? Where are you referring to? Yeah, I've also played with WED a bit, and I had to make a couple of changes to some airports already myself. But that's not really my thing, eh? I prefer to wait for the scenery guys. They're pros, rather, let them do it. Leah, at this point in time, the Zibo. Most of my life revolves around the Zibo and all the support that I do on it. I mean, I'm involved with many groups and people and places, having to support, well, out of the love of it. I mean, nobody's forcing me, supporting this aircraft. So this is where my time usually goes, is just to Zibo. In terms of other favorite aircraft, I think the Robin that was released as freeware the other day for Explain, that's a nice one. There's a nice little video on my channel about me flying around Cape Town with the Robin in sunset. That's a lovely little aircraft. But for the heavies or the big irons or whatever you want to call it, the airliners, this is my favorite for now. I have not tried the A350. I actually own the Jar Design 320 and 330, and I'm not a huge Airbus fan, so that's good enough for me. I'm not interested in flight factor and all these other more study level kind of aircraft really, because I'm a Boeing guy, I'm not an Airbus guy. Thanks, Johan. Leah, coming back to the Airbus story, I actually bought the Aerosoft Airbuses, the newer ones, for P3D. I must actually try and, you know, go fly with those ones again. Maybe you'll see me stream them as well, or I'll have to just get used to them again. But my heart lies here. This is where I feel comfortable and where I really enjoy myself. I see the top of descent is creeping up on us, doing its little leopard crawl there. So pretty soon I'm going to have to start all the preparations. I just had to check what dam that is, because that thing's huge. That is the Garib Dam, if anybody of you want to go and look for it. It's the Garib Dam. Thanks, Sean. I'll check now. Jan, so many people have asked me about this shared cockpit idea. I've helped people set it up, but I've never even tried it myself. One day I'll get there. It sounds fun, but I'm a bit weary of internet speeds here in South Africa and a couple of other things. So we'll have to test it and then see if we take it live on air. Johan, I'm looking at your picture now. That is strange. That's weird. Okay, in my opinion, from what I've just picked up in the community, a lot of these liveries are going to have to be redone, get updated anyway, for a number of reasons. I mean, that Wi-Fi dome at the top is not part of the previous paint kit, so there is a new paint kit, and I think some of the references in the old paint kit might not be fully compatible with the newer model of the Zibo. So I think there's a lot of work to be done on the community side with all the repaints and liveries. Jan, yeah, ping of 300 is no good when you have to do something in the real time. Landing an aircraft that weighs 68 tons full of passengers that's coming down at a 3-degree angle that needs to hit that runway at a certain angle and all these things, the mathematics doesn't make it conducive for co-pilot in our infrastructure, I must be honest. I'll try it, but I don't have high hopes for it. Well, Johan, your answer is don't look outside, eh? At least not for now. Or maybe go find a newer version of your livery. Maybe that helps. Funny. The status bar at the top of the broadcast is part of the broadcasting software. It's a plugin of that system. It's not part of the simulator. So if you're referring to the orange and white little bar at the top, that's totally separate. I don't see that in the cockpit, only you guys see it, and when I switch to my broadcasting software I can see it. Leah, the local time is 12:05 PM. Nice wind we have in George waiting for us. Thank you, that sounds lovely. Thanks, Federica. Thank you, Leah. Good luck. Have a good day. The video will be up later, so when you come back home you can pour yourself something nice to drink, kick back, relax and watch the rest. As a matter of interest, the George runway is 6,500 feet, that's 2,000 meters, which means that we are going to have to use a little bit of extra braking power, and we're going to have to get down in the box or do a go around, otherwise we're not going to stop in time. Sentinel X, thank you for the subscription there. Glad to see you here. And we are heavy, 67.7 tons. Nope. Well, yeah, we're gonna float within reason, but not excessively, definitely not. And if we have to put it down hard, we'll do that. We'll fix or repair or replace some of the dentures, I'm sure. Absolutely, Federico. Otherwise, we'll have to go have a word with him afterwards. Johan, yeah, I'll do my best. Today, yes. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure if you saw the video of me landing at Mthatha the other day when I lost engine number 1. That was a hair-raising incident. I mean, my hands were so sweaty and the nerves were shot almost, but we made it. If you haven't seen the video, go look for it. It's on the channel. That was very interesting. And what happened was, Zibo in himself in this aircraft does not model failures, but I didn't realize after deleting my explain preferences files and tweaking and doing other stuff that I accidentally enabled failures. So I obviously lost engine number 1 on my way from Kinshasa down to Cape Town, and I had to make an emergency landing, live on air by the way, so the stress was on. Yep, in your flight configuration page you can set up failures, and one of the things I have caught myself a couple of times with until I deactivated it was Control and F on the keyboard actually activates those failures. So if you ever experience something weird, you probably pressed Control F. That's like a manual activation of the failures, and it died and it went. You saw the video, you were actually online with me, I think. So if you want a tip from it all, go disable Control and F. Don't have a live key like that lying around. I recall the incident. It might have been nationwide, yeah. You see. Johan, that is what separates the men and the mouse, the men and the mice, however you say that in English. Yeah, nothing like a failure to bring out the best in you or the worst in you. And the clouds are looking good. Very nice. This is FS Enhancer clouds, guys, if you were wondering. I use FS Enhancer. Okay, I'm going to start with the descent preparation so long. Mini Snoop, explain.org is the best place to go look. They've got a shop where you can buy, and then they've got the freeware stuff on the side. You can Google. This is the Zibo mod that I'm flying in Explain, so just Google Zibo mod, download from the official links please, and then all should be fine. If you look in the description of this video, just click on more if you have to. There's a whole bunch of links there, just follow some of the links, you'll come right, I'm sure. Everybody says that, Johan. Last night on approach into Joburg, I went through a bit of a rainstorm there, and I mean the weather display on the ND immediately lit up. I'm using NOAA for my weather, and X-Enviro does not do that yet. They promised in the next release, but we'll see. But also remember, the weather system in X-Plane, Johan, needs a lot of work, a lot of attention. That is why most of the guys, Active Sky themselves, are developing most of the systems outside of the sim, and then they are injecting what they are able to inject into the sim. So we'll have to also see what they do. I mean, there's limits, physical hard-coded limits that Laminate is going to have to work on to make things, you know, much better. But if you look at the weather like this, I mean, this is really plausible. It's usable, and I don't have any issue, and I didn't pay 1 cent. NOAA is free, FS and Answer is free, and it works. I even have a widget. I can actually use this widget to get my meters as well. That looks so nice, man. Right, so the aircraft should start slowing down pretty soon, and then we can switch the seatbelt signs on and wait for the nose to point downwards. Federico, the opinion will probably be based upon what is important or not important to you, and then we can start with economics. I think anybody starting out in the flight sim world is going to find it more economical to start with Explain than to start with P3D. To get P3D looking better than Explain, you need to spend a lot of money. It's got very, very good, very well developed weather systems and stuff, but everything you add on is money. When it comes to Explain, in Explain you basically buy the game and then you selectively buy the add-ons. The rest is all freeware, so economics is important for a lot of people, so it's easier to get there. Then if you look at an aircraft like this Zibo is free. The one in P3D is going to set you back $130. So again, economics. I fly both. I like both, and I think my next stream I must actually do a bit of P3D, and then you can come have a look, see what it looks like, what's different. In terms of the handling characteristics, I really like the way Explain feels. It takes way longer to set up the controls in P3D to give me the same kind of responses than what I get in Explain. A lot of guys grew up with FSX, so the transition from FSX to P3D is very easy because it looks very similar. It's all, both of them were based upon Microsoft ESP, so there's a lot of similarities and there's a lot of value in just going from the one platform to the other. But in my opinion, like I said earlier, if you're starting from scratch, get Explain. Yep, yeah, you won. That's true. I'll do a flight at some time, maybe later this evening or tomorrow with P3D. I must actually just go check if everything still works. I haven't flown it in probably a month, maybe more. So yeah, then we can do a stream on that, then you can have a look. Johan, what terrain radar map are you talking about? Are you talking about the mist, what do you call this thing? This one, I'm not sure if you're referring to this one. This one works in the 900. It's the only difference between the 900 and the 800 is skin deep. The 900 has got better cosmetics, but the systems, Johan, on the 900 is Zibo 3.30i. So it's 2 or 3 systems behind this one, but there's no difference, so there's no reason why it shouldn't work. The terrain radar, if you're talking about the weather button there and the terrain radar there or there, it definitely works in the 900 because it's just another Zibo. Yeah, Dr. Klukes, I couldn't get on his name. I thought it was something like that. Yeah, that definitely works because it's just another Zibo. Anytime, Federico. My opinion has always been, let me leave you with this. My opinion is this: if you can afford it, get both. Because there are days and there are missions and there are planes that you get in the one simulator that you just don't get in the other simulator, and you're going to lose out if you don't have both. So if you can, get both, otherwise stick with Explain. Okay, Johan, did you install the terrain radar in the Explain resources plugin or in the plugin for the aircraft? And when is the last time you updated your 739? Because there was an update like 3, 4, 5 days ago. Mine works fine. Mine definitely works. I'm trying to think now. On my Twitch channel, the flight that I did from Atlanta to Orlando, that was with the 739. Have a look there. Have a look at that video later.
Commencing our descent. Looks like we'll be landing ahead of schedule and the weather conditions are looking good at our destination.
Wow,
we'll
look at that picture.
In less than 30 minutes, so do make your way back to your seats. Thanks for choosing to fly with us today, and it's been a pleasure having you on board.
No, it must be in resources, plugins, terrain radar. Then it works on all the planes and you can access it through any aircraft. I was just curious. The other question is, when last did you upgrade? Are you on 1.1.13 or whatever? I think there's a 13 in the latest model, Johan. Yep, it's possible. I would suggest checking your version numbers and then updating. Hey Johan, you can see we're getting closer to Cape Town with all these clouds now, eh? Yep, that is true. From this angle we're not going to see much, unfortunately, but if you guys are ever in the Cape province, go take the garden route drive a bit. And that is where we are at now. So we're going to go basically crossing the center line there, just about at the airport, turn downwind, and then Botelo is the start of the RNAV star, so we'll pick it up there. That's a lot of clouds, eh? FSC is really good, Johan. You can always delete it if you don't like it. It's not going to cost you anything. I've never tried X and Y. Just have no need for it. Hello, yeah, I'm gonna try. This runway is short. We are going to have to put it down hard if we have to, but stop, we'll have to stop as well. So thank you. If you can stick around, enjoy. Otherwise we'll talk again later. The video will be up so you can watch it anyway later. Yeah, these mountains here can't really expedite too much. There's a reason the whole approach has been worked out this way. There's been some fatal accidents in the area, so I don't want to push my luck if I don't have to. But if you have to go for lunch, enjoy it, and like I said, you can watch the video later, but we'll talk again. Actually now wondering what is for lunch. I better look for something as well. Now you've just made me hungry. I'm too close to the end. I'm gonna see it through. I'll have to reheat whatever is given to me if it's hot, or just enjoy it on the side if it's cold. We're going to try not to break the landing gear. That looks so nice, wow. It's very stable, this version. This is my second flight with it, and I can honestly not complain at all. Not a single fault issue, mistake, or anything that I can pick up except human error on my side for not paying attention when I have to, that's all. Federico, the end result will be study level. It is getting there. It's definitely more advanced than some of the other products on the market, but there is also still a lot of work that needs to go in there. If you compare finished systems with finished systems, I think this is the leader of the pack right now. I was thinking the same thing. And I was thinking that too. I think we're going to go through a couple of surprises now. It's closed up again. I'm trying. Thank you, yes. I've never done this in public, so please don't laugh if something goes wrong. We'll call it a learning curve like a good sportsman and then try again, but I suppose everything will be fine. Yeah, stable. And those are the mountains, the dangerous ones. There's a bit of real estate between me and the sea. We'll plow and make a farmer happy, you know, first, and then we'll see how far we get and close to the sea.
Feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
Approaching 1-1.
You guys, I'll do my best.
500. Approaching minimums.
Okay, the nose is going to try and veer sharply right because of that 14 knot wind, so I'm going to have to look at that as well.
Approaching minimums.
Let's see.
400 minimums. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Phew, thank you. By the way, that's XP Realistic, that's adding the movement into the cockpit. I've gotten so used to XP Realistic making this cockpit move that it's not funny for me, but a lot of guys are not used to that.
1,000 remaining.
If you guys want to stick around, we'll do a replay or two after I have parked, so I'd love to see this, maybe make another bit of a video or something. You guys must always remember, I don't know if it is so in the rest of the world, but we have a saying in South Africa, what happens in the cockpit stays in the cockpit, so just always remember that. Yeah, and I think so too. Under the circumstances, it was not bad. My first officer just needs a reminder to do the prepare for landing speech. He left the flying to me and he didn't concentrate himself. I think he was more worried than all of us together. Yeah, cleaning crew. Guys, welcome to George, and I am so glad you guys were here to share this with me. I really enjoyed this flight. And Federica, just as a matter of interest, this is the NMG. This is the new NMG one, as far as I can see. Yeah, way better than default. But if you want to do yourself a favor, go look at the default East London FAEL. That is a nice default little airport from the gateway that's built into XP now. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, that wasn't a bad landing. I had to contend with the wind, 14 knots from, I think that was about 2 o'clock, maybe 2:30. Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of the flight. I am going to just look at some replays. You guys are welcome to stick around, eh? Okay, Arthur, thanks for visiting. Hope to see you soon again. Ah, this tower view does not seem to want to play ball with us. do that again. Stand a little bit out of the way. Man, that looks cool. What do you guys think? Okay, this will be the last one unless you guys have got some special requests, then we can all go have lunch. I hope the zoom level is okay now. Well guys, that's about it then. Thank you so very much for being here, sticking with me, enjoying it with me. I hope you did. I did. This was awesome and I'm going to do it soon again, so make sure you subscribe and get your notifications when I go live. Met Asia. Go for it, Johan. Okay, I'm signing off. Thanks guys. Bye bye for now.